Welcome back, everybody. This is our MRS21 Fall 2021 Midterm Review, video number 4. Please make sure you catch parts 1, 2, and 3. We are now up to question 16. What is the quotient when 10x cubed minus 3x squared minus 7x plus 3 is divided by 2x minus 1? Well, we can try factoring, but I don't think this really factors out well with factor by grouping. So we're going to go back with our long division. So we're going to take 2x minus 1 and divide it evenly into 10x cubed minus 3x squared minus 7x plus 3. So what we do is we always are taking our lead term and dividing into each of these lead terms here. So 2x divides evenly into 10x cubed. Well, that's going to be, in this case, 5x squared times. Sorry. So what we would do is, once we find this, because again, we're taking 10x cubed and dividing it by 2x to get 5x squared. So now we will distribute this. The 5x squared is going to multiply 2x, and so now we're going to get 10x cubed minus 5x squared. We're subtracting this whole thing. So 10x cubed minus 10x cubed cancels out to 0. And in this case, negative 3 minus negative 5 is positive 2x squared. That's subtracting. We're going to bring down this negative 7x and then continue. We're going to take the 2x squared here and divide that by 2x to figure out how many times 2x goes into x squared, which is just plain old x. So plus x here. We're going to multiply this x now with a 2x minus 1, just like we did before. And so x times 2x is 2x squared. X times negative 1 is minus 1x. And now we're going to subtract again. Okay. So again, these cancel out. 2x squared minus 2x squared is 0. Negative 7x minus negative 1x. Well, it's negative 7x plus positive 1x because, subtracting the negative is the same as adding a positive. We get negative 6x. And we bring down the plus 3. So our next move is to now figure out how many times does 2x go into negative 6x? Well, that'll be negative 3 times. So it's minus 3. Negative 3 divides evenly into 2, multiplies with 2x to get negative 6x squared, negative 6x actually. And negative 3 times negative 1 is positive 3. And we're subtracting. This cancels out. 3 minus 3 is cancels out, it's 0. So our quotient is going to be 5x squared plus x minus 3, which is choice D. So we don't have to do long division, ladies and gentlemen. This is a reminder how to do this. When factored completely, the expression x cubed minus 2x squared minus 9x plus 18 is equivalent to, well, this is definitely going to be our factor by grouping. So we're going to factor the first 2 pair and then the second pair. Well, the greatest common factor between x cubed and 2x squared is definitely x squared. And when you divide both of those first 2 terms by x squared, we get x minus 2. Now, we're going to divide out, in this case, the greatest common factor for negative 9x plus 18, but we want the remaining factor to be x plus x minus 2. To get that, the GCF will be minus 9, because negative 9 times x is negative 9x. Negative 9 times negative 2 is positive 18. So by factor by grouping, we do GCF twice. This time around, for the second pair, our greatest common factor was negative 9. To get the same remaining factor, x minus 2, because now, between these 2 pairs of terms, our GCF is x minus 2. And we're left with x squared minus 9. Well, it looks like maybe choice A is the correct answer until we read again when factored completely. Now, why? because we can factor x squared minus 9 again. This can be factored out as, because a perfect square minus perfect square, well, the square root of x squared is x, and the square root of 9 is 3, plus and minus, because there's a difference of two perfect squares. That's how you factor it. You have a perfect square minus perfect square, take the square root of each of those terms, put them in the front and back, those square roots, and then put plus and minus in between them. And we don't forget the x minus 2, so we get x minus 2 times x plus 3 times x minus 3. Well, that's best matching choice B. Number 18. When 3/2 x squared plus 1/4 x plus 4 is subtracted from, very important words, subtracted from 5x squared minus 3/4 x plus 1, the difference is, when we say subtracted from, we're still subtracting, but we have to switch the order. And so instead of doing the 3/2 x squared plus 1/4 x plus 4 minus 5x squared minus 3/4 x plus 1, it's the other way around. It'll be 5/2 x squared minus 3/4 x plus 1 minus 3/2 x squared plus 1/4 x plus 4. And we're subtracting these terms. So on your calculator, you can do 5/2 minus 3/2. That's definitely 2/2 or just 1x squared. Okay, so 5/2 minus 3/2 is 2/2 or 1. The next thing we're subtracting is going to be negative 3/4 minus 1/4, which in this case is the same thing as neg 3/4 plus negative 1/4, the whole keep, change, chain thing. Or you can use calculators to combine these, and we get, in this case, negative 4/4 or neg 1. So this is minus 1x. And then finally, we have 1 minus 4, which is equal to neg 3. So our difference will be 1x squared minus 1x minus 3. That looks like choice D is our correct answer for this one. Number 19. The accompanying diagram shows a parabola. Which statement is not true? Very important. Underline the words not true. Okay? So when we do this, the equation of axis symmetry is -2. Now the axis symmetry is going to be that line that goes down the middle of the parabola, kind of like the line of reflection, if you will. So we see here, it's kind of this line, this kind of dashed line here. And if our dash is correct, that's at x equals -2. So yeah, that's actually a correct answer. So it's not gonna be this one. This is true. The parabola has a minimum point. Well, we see here that the lowest point is going to be at the vertex. So that's the lowest point it has, and there's no other point lower than that point for the parabola. So yeah, that's true. It has a minimum point. The turning point of the parabola is -2, 1. Yeah, that seems to be the coordinate of the turning point. So that's -2, 1. And finally, the parabola has two x-intercepts. Well, the parabola as x-intercept, an x-intercept is where the graph is going to cross the x-axis or intertouch the x-axis, and this parabola just is above the x-axis and just shoots upwards, never touching. So what's not true? Must be choice D, because the parabola does not cross the x-axis at all or touch it at all. So that's how we do this one. We have to kind of be able to read all the possible choices about the parabola itself, and hopefully we'll be able to figure out what the correct answer is. Well, which answer is not true, because the other three are. The accompanying diagram shows the graph of parabola y equals ax squared plus bx plus c. What must be a root of the equation of ax squared plus bx plus c equals 0? Well, in this case, for a root of the equation, a root is another word for x-intercept. Where does a parabola cross the x-axis? Well, we see it occurs once and twice at two different values, where x equals positive 2 and x equals negative 2. And from the choices we see it must be choice B. Okay. All right, ladies and gentlemen. So yeah, so whenever we see roots, really, from a graphing point of view, is where the graph touches or intersects the x-axis. All right, very important to understand. And so the parabola shows us that it's going to cross the x-axis at two different points: x equals -2 and x equals 2. All right. Okay, everybody. I hope these questions, these videos helpful, and going over these questions will be helpful for the midterm. Make sure you review them and go over the idea behind it. No, I mean, just I want to make sure you guys understand that what these things are saying, different properties of parabolas in this case. Well, in any case, if you found this video helpful, or in this case, whether it's all 5 of the questions we went over or just one of them, please consider giving this video a like. It's a very quick thing to do, and subscribe to the channel if you're not done so already. All right, everybody. I will see you in the next video, hopefully the last one for part 5 of our MRS21 Fall 2021 Midterm Review. Thanks for watching, everybody. Take care. Be safe.